Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today's video is super special and different because we are doing something we've never done before. To all you design enthusiasts, you are gonna love today's video. Whether you're an interior designer, home stager, interior decorator, architect, you are so gonna benefit from what I'm about to show you today. But before we get into all that, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this project. About last year this time, we were approached by one of our YouTube subscribers and they wanted to hire us to build their brand new custom house. But it was a little bit tricky because what they had was an existing home which they wanted to do an addition to. Well, that didn't go as planned because what we did was tore down the whole property and we are rebuilding. We are doing a complete change around from beginning to end. And this is where it begins, the planning phase. And this is what this video is all about. Now, for all of you who are subscribed to our premium channel, stylewithsanaz.com, you are going to be seeing all of the background work of what's going to take place as this house gets built. And for those of you who are not subscribed yet, make sure you go onto our website and subscribe because you do not want to miss the amazing content that's coming your way. What we do at this phase very early in the project is we meet with our clients and we go through their wish list, what they want and what they don't want. And from there, we start building a vision board. Now, vision boards are a great way to start a project because this allows the client to get a feel for what you're thinking. And this is a very early stage in the design process where they can tell you, well, I don't really like this material or I want to go a little bit moodier, and it's easier to make changes at this point. This is where you start building on the ideas and visually bringing the space to life for them. And we did this by collaborating with an amazing creator platform called Fiverr. Fiverr is a marketplace for different creators where you can go on there and hire different people to do different tasks for you. So for example, if you want to build a website, if you want to make some really cool music, if you're in the interior design industry and you want to make renderings and present them to your clients, you can go on to Fiverr and hire these amazing creators to build you whatever it is that you need. And if you haven't guessed already, this video is sponsored by Fiverr, which I was so excited about because I knew about this platform and I'm totally honored to show you what their creators made for our project. We hired 3 different designers from Fiverr and each one was given the same mood board and they have created their own version of this mood board for our family room, for our design client. And this is what we're going to be presenting to them. So it's the renderings that they made for us. So I haven't seen the end result yet, so we're gonna go through this together. But what we did in our mood board was we gave them a basic start of finishes and textures and kind of like an idea of what we want to see, and they've built this into the room for us. Let's have a look at the first one. Okay, well, this is fantastic. I feel like I'm actually standing in the room with this 3D rendering. So it does look very similar to the mood board that we gave them with the same wall unit, the same finish for wall unit we wanted. This room has super high ceilings, so it's actually 2 floor, about 22, 23 feet tall, and it has floor to ceiling windows. So the space is airy and they've captured that really well. And I love how they have kind of like the sun kind of coming into the room. You see a little bit of shading. It looks really natural and it looks alive. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make the space feel like they're actually stepping into it and it already exists. But it doesn't. Right now, it's just flat land and they're digging ground. So the finishes that we picked for the fireplace, we're most likely going with light natural elements, and the stone is almost like a Calcutta finish, and there's so many different Calcuttas that I can't possibly name one right now that we're gonna use, but just to give them an idea of what this stone is gonna be. And you can see it's kind of book match veining going all the way up, which is really natural looking. The fireplace mantle does stick out, we're not doing a flat surface, and I like how they captured that here. The only thing that I know is that we're doing a linear fireplace, so that's probably going to get changed later. And the wall unit, great material. We're probably going to go with something similar to this. And the wall unit is actually asymmetrical, and that's what we gave them in the mood board, and they kind of kept with that design, which is nice because it's going to be one of the options we can show our client and see what she has. Maybe she has a nice statue or a vase that she wants to put there on the right side. I like the artwork. I like the mood. I like the coloring. The sectional color kind of blends in with the wall unit, which is nice because at this point, you do not want to be really emphasizing on the furniture. Yes, you want to be creating a mood, but at the same time, you're selling the features of the house, which is what we have to make and choose our finishes for and design. Furniture always comes after, but I like how they put in nice pieces that don't overwhelm the space. They actually allow your eye to go towards what's important here, and that's the wall unit. If I were to rate this room out of 10, if they were to come up with the design, the whole thing themselves, I would have given it a 10 out of 10. But the only thing that I'm a little bit drawn back about is the fact that it's the exact design that we gave them. And I don't really see the creativity. It's more like what we gave and we got the exact same thing back with the asymmetrical wall unit, that same stone, the same mantle, and they just kind of furnished it with the art. So in that case, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. But if they were to make this room themselves, it's a 10 out of 10. If I were to see this on Instagram, I'd be like, oh my God, this room is stunning. And it would get like so many different likes on it, I'm sure. But yeah, great job. I love it. I feel like it really sets the mood. It feels alive, and that's what's important when we're showing the client. We're definitely going to show this as an option if they want to do something asymmetrical. Now let's go on to the second rendering. Rendering number 2. Okay. Wow, this one is really nice. I really like this one. I feel like it's captured a little bit more away from the room, so you're getting a full view of the windows, which is really nice because that is definitely a feature that we have already sold to our client, but it's nice to visually have it there as well because it sets the mood for the rest of the room. The black windows, floor to ceiling, yes. And the wall unit, again, it's floor to ceiling. And I like the fact that they separated and they showed this because realistically, your wall unit in a 22, 23 foot high ceiling will not go all the way up to the ceiling. It has to end at a point. I like the fact that they ended the wall unit, but then carried that material kind of going up. So you still see the separation, but there's still a uniform look. So the fireplace here is a little bit different than the first drawing. The other one, they did an actual mantle that you could see. This one, it looks like it's flat, but then it is sticking out a little bit, which is really nice. And I like the fact that it's so clean and smooth looking. So it goes with the rest of the modern look. Love the light fixtures. They captured this room really nicely, and I feel like it looks really natural, again, with the natural light kind of coming on the floor, really sets the mood. And one of the other things I like is how they wrapped the wall with the same finish as the wall unit, and that creates interest, and it kind of separates. Instead of having a full wall that's all white drywall, this actually creates a little bit of architectural interest in the space, which I think is fantastic. The furniture is not overwhelming, just a few modular pieces on the floor, which is nice. And I love the wall unit. I think it's clean looking. I just have to speak with my client to see if she does want any closed drawers there, any doors to cover up spaces. But this one, if I were to rate this rendering out of 10, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It captures the space really well. It gives you a feeling for the real grandness of this room with the ceiling height and the windows. Fantastic job. The reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because I feel like a 10 out of 10 would be absolute perfection. I still see a little little bit of things here like the wall unit that I'm most likely going to tweak a little bit. But other than that, I give it a 9 out of 10, which I think is as close to a 10 out of 10 you can get. And now for rendering number 3. All right, guys. So this one is done in a different angle. It's kind of showing the focal wall and then the wall to the right, which this room doesn't really hit me the way the other two did. I feel like it looks a little bit more commercial, like it would be the lobby of a hotel. So it's kind of lacking that warmth here. So what I see is a lot of white drywall from the top. So where the other ones did their wall units kind of going up into the ceiling, this one has cut it. So realistically, where your wall unit would end, about the 10 or 11 foot mark, and then they have drywall on top of that. And they've carried that paneling from the wall unit into the right wall. It's too cold looking. It doesn't have warmth. It doesn't have, I don't feel that warmth and the different dimensions kind of in this room, because then you have the fireplace white again going all the way up. I mean, if this was for a hotel, I would say great, but not for my client's house. I feel like they would want, and I personally would envision something a little bit moodier, a little bit warmer, a little bit more personable. And I don't see the windows. I feel like the second image, the second rendering, had so much more dimension and depth in it because of those black windows. So this one is nice, and I'm probably not going to show it to my client just because I feel like it'll throw her off with what we had in mind for this room. But the other two were options that we are going to show. And this one, if I were to rate it, I would give it like a 5.5 out of 10. And again, my reasons are that it's missing those windows, which was probably a significant part of this room, and it's costing a lot of money to our clients. So we want to be showing that off in the rendering, even a portion of it, because they are in the room. They're a significant part of this room. And then the fireplace wall, the feature wall, doesn't hit me the way that the other two did. And I'm not so sure about this wall with the halfway paneling. The furniture is fine. Again, just kind of capturing the wrong angle. So 5.5 out of 10. Now you guys see that I am fair. I don't just give out numbers. It has to hit home, and this is the purpose of doing these renderings. You're trying to create warmth. You're trying to create an impact for them to actually be able to visualize themselves living there. So if the designer doesn't like it, you shouldn't be showing it to your client. So now let's discuss some pricing and what you're looking at to do something like this. It's actually mind-blowing how cost-effective this process is, because you're spending anywhere between $50 to $150, and that really depends on the creator, the designer that's making these, because everybody has their own value of their work. Some people charge less, they do more quantity work. Some people charge a lot more and they do more quality work, or you could get both in one. So you just gotta go around, do your homework, look at their work. If it resonates with your design and your style, and if they capture that warmth, those are the ones that you should try out. And it doesn't hurt to try more than one person. So if you have the budget for it, have 2 separate people do what we did, design the room for you, and then you can go and decide which one you want to present to your client. And guys, we do have a promo code for you. It's linked down below. Make sure you use it for your project because you do get a little incentive there. I definitely recommend using this service for your interior design clients. Fiverr made this process so easy for us to use. We just gave them our vision board. You can even put together all of the finishes and colors, and if you have any drawings or inspo photos, put it all in a package for them, send it to them, and they come back at you within days later, and you have this rendering to present to your client. So they're definitely saving you a lot of time and energy doing the rendering yourself. So make sure you try it out for your next project. We were really happy with the process, and we're definitely going to be using them moving forward. Guys, don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, comment below, let us know which one of the 3 drawings was your favorite and why. I want to know the reasons, because this is what allows us to evolve as designers. Feedback, feedback, feedback. Oh yes, and we do have an Instagram page @StyleWithSanaz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.